Life's a game, the world's a stage, and we are merely role players, where theatrical people play role-playing games. I'm Matt Boothman, and I'm your compere for this studio production. Here on Merely Role Players, we improvise stories for your entertainment and ours. And we use role-playing games to keep the story going places even we can't see coming, because as theatrical people, we're all about maximising the drama. In this production, we're playing the classic edition of Fiasco, designed by Jason Morningstar and published by Bully Pulpit Games, with a playset called When the Music Stopped. Please take your seats in the studio. Tonight's production is about to begin.
The band is getting back together.
67 years we've been going. I'm not getting any younger. Might be time for me to finally hang up my theremin. We gotta take it back to where it all began.
Back to the Beanstalk.
And then there will be a ceremonial handing over. So, you are the famous Gregg. If you told me 2 weeks ago when I first met with Sue that I'd be getting a replacement who's a stonemason, well, I'd say get the fuck out of here. You've got a beautiful gravelly voice, like you're gargling rock salt. You will be the new Bilbo. I am your master now.
Monumental Exit, a Merely Role Players studio production. Act 2 of 3.
So we've got the band back together, essentially.
Yeah.
We're on the road to doing this last show at the Beanstalk.
Mm-hmm.
So we could be in rehearsals, we could be sort of plotting things together, there could be some problems that might come up. What I'm saying is, I can't think of anything right now. I'm not being decisive enough, so I would choose to resolve the scene.
Sure. This could be Bilbo beginning Gregg's training and trying to push him towards this ceremonial final binge.
Yeah. We've had the decision montage, and now we need the training montage.
Oh, yeah. This is Bilbo beginning to mould, to carve Gregg into the shape of a successor.
Symbolism. Like it. This takes place at our rehearsal venue, perhaps an old theatre that has also been bought by the band.
Yeah.
By
Should
the
not
name.
be your bar.
Not a great space for rehearsing, the 20 band members that we have.
You know what?
20 with 20.
Well, we've got 2 theremin players.
You know what's a great space for band rehearsals?
Where's that?
Is like an industrial unit with a shutter on the door.
That's very true. That's a really good point. Yeah.
Surrounded by morbid and or phallic imagery.
Mm-hmm.
Never the twain should mix.
So here we are. So it's been set up. A stage has been installed. Yeah, because we know we're going to be here for a while. This is going to be a big gig. Mm-hmm. So the lighting's been rigged. The sound system's been rigged. We've actually decided, or Mike's decided, to incorporate some of his carvings into the set dressing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we will be surrounded by
for acoustic, bafflement.
We'll be surrounded by angel dicks and morbid carvings.
Cherubim dicks.
Cherubim.
Yeah, they're not angels.
Okay.
They're little cherubs, but with massive. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. They're little cherubs with massive cocks.
Yep, fair enough. So just moving past that just for a moment. So there are quite a few band members are up on the stage and are like tuning. Sue's up on the stage, desperately trying to assemble all of her. She's got like 3 roadies just looking after her. One to like permanently waft her dress or a cardigan, and 2 people just trying to set all the instruments that you play up.
Theremin, oboe, keytar, harp.
Yeah.
So what other band members of the band got?
So I think we've got at least 5 backing singers.
Yeah.
And they do the typical like sway and click thing that all backing dancers do.
While doing Duel of the Fates style like chanting. Like that. Yeah.
We've got a very old drummer who might be the son of the original drummer, but is still ancient. And I think he looks a little bit like the seamstress chap in Toy Story that puts Woody back together. He's tiny and he's got big bulging eyes, and he looks very, very delicate. And then he approaches the drums, and it's like a huge Neil Peart or Dream Theater style drum rig with like drums everywhere. And he just picks them up and he just turns into an absolute beast, and he goes full animal on them and practicing.
I feel like we have a keys player who we've never actually seen the face of. Like Daft Punk style.
Nice.
Always helmeted or shrouded in some way.
Keys players are always quiet and intellectual, just want to sit at the back.
Yeah, and especially in this kind of band with like the metal aspects as well. It's occasional like wibbly wailing and like a single keys rather. And then occasionally they get to do full crazy runs, organ stuff.
Rick Wakeman style.
Like, have they got like multiple...
Oh, yeah.
Racks on racks.
His nickname is the Octopus because when he's playing, his arms just move so quickly, it looks like he's got 8
in my imagination, the helmet that obscures the key player's face is the helmet from the kids' TV show Nightmare.
Sure, amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like not a he though. I feel like we don't know.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Completely androgynous.
Yeah.
Alex, who else is in the band? Going around the table.
Going around the table. I think you've definitely got a percussionist. No one's really sure how, when, or why they joined the band, but they've been with them again for a long period of time, so they're just kind of a staple. Mm-hmm. But you've got the usual twinkly little sort of bells, the bongos, maracas, tambourines, more cowbell than you can shake a stick at. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you've got and I'm trying to think what they look like. Again, bald with a huge moustache that is actually wider than their own head.
Nice.
I feel like what we have is not a band but an orchestra.
Well, I was going to say because the drums and the keys and all of this stuff sounds so like fiddly twiddly widdly. I want the bassist to just be like a garage bassist, like only ever uses the E string. She's on a Zimmer frame. Yeah, she's got a blue rinse, and she's been swinging that bass for 30 years.
Yeah.
Is it an upright or is it like a...
Oh no, it's a rock bass.
It's a rock bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think to finish it off, naturally we have our didgeridoo player. She is a native Australian Aboriginal with a big sort of dreadlocked hair that runs down her back. And she comes on for one song, plays one sustained drone throughout the entire song, and then goes back to the dressing room, but gets paid the same as all the other musicians, and they're all furious.
Yeah.
No guitarists.
No guitarists.
We've got a bass guitarist.
That's true. We've got a theremin and an oboe.
And keys.
And a cowbell.
Should we have a ridiculously young guitarist?
Sure. What do they look like?
She is quite nerdy looking. For some reason, has got big flared trousers.
She's somebody's granddaughter.
Yeah. Big glasses. I think she's the drummer's granddaughter, so she's got the same big eyes as the drummer.
She looks exactly the same as him, but just slightly different hairstyle.
With like a really, really like sort of like boring haircut, just like straight. Everything's straight, and she just plays fairly like robotically. Plays very well, but there is very little emotion.
Bilbo isn't on stage at the moment. Okay. There is a large leathery armchair. The consistency of the leather resembles his skin that he is currently sleeping on. When you, Gregg, enter into the rehearsal space with all this noise going on around you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gregg. I'm new.
I think maybe only one or two of the band like wave.
Yeah.
Maybe the bassist.
Sue waves, but it's with the theremin. So it's like,
the drummer can't see you because of the drums.
What?
Hey! Is that the new boy?
I stand here, do I? The mic in the middle?
Yeah, that's where you stand.
Okay, I'm afraid I don't know any of your songs.
I think the young guitarist just kind of monotonely hands you the sheet music, because no one else plays with sheet music, but she does.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. There are no lyrics on here?
You've got to feel the lyrics in your soul, Gregg. Feel them.
All right, well, I suppose there's only one way to find out if this is going to work, isn't there?
Bilbo!
Do you count me in? Is that how that...
Wait. Bilbo! Bilbo!
Ah! Right, it's showtime! Rock and roll. Hey, good to see you. How are you? Goes around sort of high-fiving and slapping people on the back and assumes the position at the front of the stage. Now listen to me.
Edging Gregg out.
Gregg,
where he'd been standing.
Stage left. Stage right. Okay, over there. Just move over there. Okay. Now watch this. You're about to see something terrific. And what I want you to do is I want you to copy everything that I'm doing. Okay? But make sure you include your own spin on it. Being the front man is about creating your own persona. But just make sure you do it quite like me, because that's what people will be paying for the tickets will want to come and see. Understand?
Understood, Master.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, and everybody begins playing this really fucking cacophonous, random set of notes. Everybody is playing something slightly different. There's the droning from the didgeridoo. The drummer is a couple of beats behind, but he's like going all the way around the tom, just over and over again.
And is this what it's supposed to sound like, or are the band really out of practice?
No, so I think this is what it's supposed to sound like. I think it's like in, the Beatles, A Day in the Life, or whatever that song's called, in the middle, when you have like that orchestral swell that makes no fucking sense, but is genius, because of course it's genius. Everyone's just building up to that, and then suddenly there's just silence, and you hear the noise of the theremin.
And what is Bilbo doing that Gregg is supposed to imitate here?
So you see him begin to sort of rhythmically sway from side to side, and every so often he grabs his hip because it's playing up a little. He's like, oh fuck. But he's got enough uppers in his body at the moment that he is, belying the number of years he's been alive. He's just like beginning to sway. And then he just starts to like jerk convulsively. I'm thinking, in the music video for the Talking Heads, Once in a Lifetime, when he's wearing like the giant suit and he's just like jerking around and standing in one place. That's how he begins. And then as the theremin solo sort of fades, he just lets out this banshee wail, just this like high B flat note, sustains, and then silence. And then the band will come into play again.
And I think the problem that everybody can see is that Gregg physically can't keep up with what Bilbo's doing because Gregg is not on any uppers or any drugs of any kind.
No, absolutely. I think Bilbo danced around the stage and every so often notices that Gregg is standing awkwardly to one side, sort of gazing over at the sheet music that the other musicians have got, and they sort of rudely elbow him out the way because he's invading their personal space, and so Bilbo sort of scampers over to where Gregg is currently standing and he grabs you by the back of the neck and pulls you over. And he says, this is the part where you gaze deeply into the eyes of the bass player and you start to do a little jig to what they're playing. And he sort of does that. There's a moment where the rest of the band sort of cut down a little bit, and it's just like there's a bass solo halfway through the song, of course there is. And Bilbo and the bass player do the intense eye contact that musicians occasionally do when they're both completely out of their minds, but they are sort of doing a little dance together. And then Bilbo steps to one side and slaps you on the back towards the bass player.
And Gregg is really trying. Gregg has decided that if this is the way his life is going, he is going to commit and try and do the best that he can. Mm-hmm. He is, like I say, physically incapable of some of the movements that Bilbo is pulling off, and also just has not found his persona yet. Is still very inhibited. Mm-hmm. But is trying, and there is something under there. Mm-hmm. There is a hint of the frontman that Gregg could become, but it cannot crack out of the stone shell just yet.
Bilbo says, "Out of my good, Gregg, good. Keep it going, keep it moving." Then the music naturally sort of transforms into the oboe solo portion of this epic 9-minute track. And Sue, as she's been wont to do in the past, will step forward and showboat a little bit as if she's playing a guitar solo. Yeah. And all the spotlights suddenly click on her and everyone's focus is on her. And Bilbo whispers into Gregg's ear, "This is where Sue tries to take over the song. So you're going to want to go over there and try and steal the spotlight back from her."
And Sue is eyeballing Gregg.
Yeah.
This is the game that she and Bilbo play. And she knows that is Bilbo's goal in her solo. And she knows that Gregg has got to take over that mantle. So it's a challenge.
Yeah, it is. A duel. Bilbo steps back and suddenly all the other lights on the stage go out except 2 spotlights. One on Sue and one on Gregg.
And as they lock eyes, something activates in Gregg. Gregg has begun to see Sue as this avatar of death. And all of this, all of the imagery that he puts into his stonemasonry work, he sees in Sue's eyes. Mm-hmm. And where Bilbo was doing all of this kind of jerky jagger type movements, Gregg stares deeply into Sue's eyes, slowly begins to move, slowly begins to rhythmically rock, and it turns into a full headbang. Yes. His wispy hair flinging backwards and forwards, all the way back and forward over his head, as he starts to really feel the oboe.
Nice.
Amazing.
Nice. And Mike, you backstage are aware now that the follow spot operators, one of them dims down so that, in fact, the follow spot is just now on Gregg. He has won the duel between the two of them in this moment.
Sue, on her knees playing the oboe, and then just flourishes and points to Gregg. And you realise, as she's pointing, it is initially like a yes to you, the champion. And then she's like, help me up, dear. The arm outstretched to be like, no, just give a lass a hand, please.
And then Bilbo, as the song is building up towards the end, towards the crescendo, everybody is soloing, everybody's riffing off of each other, the backing dancers are going absolutely nuts, the drummer's about to have a heart attack. Bilbo grabs Gregg by the shoulder and says, now, stage dive, and throws you off the front of the stage. There's no audience. There's a couple of crew, like Mike, you're probably standing down there watching, or you're at the buttons or something.
Oh, fuck!
And you are flung off. What happens?
Gregg face plants into the floor of the workshop, probably chips a tooth.
Mike doesn't catch him?
Ooh.
See, I think Mike saw this coming because he's been with the band for so long. He knows that you are prone to do stuff that makes little to no sense. And he sees you grab, say, stage dive, and as fast as his squat, but very powerful legs can carry him, he runs centre stage, and as you are flung directly off the stage, he catches you in
Dirty dancing.
Yeah, dirty dancing style, and just holds you there, and he goes, "This is kind of what it'll probably feel like. I'm flying. Holy shit."
And as we build to the big rock ending, everybody's going absolutely mad on their instruments. Bilbo goes over to the Aboriginal woman, grabs the didgeridoo, and runs over to the percussionist and starts smashing up all of the little drums and the bongos and stuff with the didgeridoo, and then throws it out into the crowd. Runs down the front of the stage, grabs you by the hand, pulls you back onto the stage, and says, "The big rock ending." And you both go up to the drum riser, and everybody is going mad on their instruments. And they're all getting ready to play that final note to signify the song's done, and we're going to jump off at the same time. As that final note is about to be played, the final cymbal splash, the final, note on the guitar and the oboe to be played, Bilbo does his signature, like, jumping up in the air, sort of punk style, with his legs sort of out to the side. But Gregg does something much bigger.
Yeah, Gregg just gets a completely different message from what he's being cued to do, follows his own heart, leaps, and, like, power slides on his knees across the width of the stage to land in front of the frontman, Mike.
Nice. And I think Bilbo has not stuck the landing and has twisted a knee as he lands, so he collapses in a heap on the stage, meaning that all the lights and all the focus is now focusing on Gregg, and he's off in the shadows.
You hear a discordant squeak as Sue has spotted this moment, and the oboe is just like...
You've broken a reed.
Yeah. In shock.
And in that moment, even though it's just crew and a few hangers-on and family that are watching the rehearsal, everybody just bursts into applause, and the rest of the musicians crowd Gregg and lift you up on their shoulders.
I mean, how are we going to top that for the gig?
Once again, we come to Natalie.
Yes.
Would you like to establish or resolve the next scene?
I would like to establish the next scene, and I think it's Mike and Sue chatting after the rehearsal about the fact that it's going to be at the Beanstalk and what that means.
Yeah. Well, that went well.
Surprisingly so, yeah.
Yeah. I'm shocked. I won't lie. I didn't think the little dweeb had it in him.
I'm proud of you,
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen you lift things before.
Oh, you have?
Yes. It's your last work.
Yeah, that and the cherubs with the big digs.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, I would never undermine their importance in your life.
Yeah.
But lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my first calling.
Cherubs and lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lifting is what... And I've never seen you lift anything. The way you lifted that young boy.
Oh, no.
And you had all that animosity between you.
Oh, so much animosity.
And yet you put all that aside because you knew in that moment that is what you had to do.
It's got to be done. Otherwise he'd face planted on the concrete.
That would have been awkward.
Yeah, he'd have busted his nose right open. Claret all over the floor.
Probably could have sued us.
It's a good point. And you don't sue Sue.
You do not sue. No one sues Sue. Many husbands have tried.
Have they? There's something I want to talk to you about, Sue.
Yes, Mike.
I think you know what's going to be.
I think I do.
The Beanstalk.
The Beanstalk, yes.
I don't mind us going back to the Beanstalk. A lot of good memories.
So many good memories at that venue. It made us.
It did. However,
Yes.
it does bring us back into contact with that slimy, stealing, no good venue owner.
Tito.
Tito.
You
His
both-
name is Tito Luna. He's our nemesis.
Sorry, Tito was his brother.
Yeah, he was a nice one.
You hear from like a shared past memory just his irritating cackle.
Yeah, Tito.
Tito, yes.
We need to get him back. He's
This will be our opportunity.
Yeah, I've got a plan, sis. Do you want to hear my plan?
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna murder him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. That's quite extreme.
Yeah, but he deserves it, don't he?
He does, well. Remind me what he did again.
Oh.
It's been a long time.
Don't you remember, sis? He's been profiting off the bloody Sherpas. He has no right.
No one shafts the Sherpas.
That's another one of our sayings. No one shafts the Sherpas. No one. So you want for killing him?
Well. Yeah, all right.
Great. Cracking. Really looking forward to it.
What's your plan? How are you going to go about it?
Well, I've got a little secret plans for when it actually happens. So I don't want to reveal that. I want to keep that sort of under wraps.
Well, how can I help if I'm not in on the stitch?
Well, no. Like, you can help with the killing, but there'll be like a little surprise fanfare at the end.
Right.
So that'll be a little surprise. I'm looking forward to that, so that's why I've let that slip.
Sure.
But I'm thinking of beheading him.
Right.
You look a bit taken aback.
Well, there's if you need to get rid of someone,
Yeah.
like there's efficient ways of doing it,
Chopping their heads off is pretty efficient.
but there's also messy ways. I mean, and you know me, I love a bit of mess.
Yeah.
But what's your plan after the beheading?
Oh, see, that is my problem. I never think about a clean-up.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And who's got to always clean up after your messes? Sue, that's who.
Sue. Yeah, good point. Right. So maybe not the sword then.
Oh, you do like that sword?
I do. Yeah. I think I can get out of that rock. I've been looking at it, and I think if I give it like a right sort of twist and jerk, it'll come straight out.
If anyone could do it, Mike, it'd be you.
I know. I think it's my destiny. I think it's my calling to use that sword to kill Tito.
And if anything, the sword itself represents your two life's callings.
Yeah.
Coming together. You know, it's the
Yeah.
stone. Working the stone.
Yeah.
And lifting.
And lifting, yeah, and lifting. Don't forget the lifting, because I'm going to lift the sword and hit him with it. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So you up for helping me with that?
If we're going to have one last gig, and it's going to be at the place where it all began.
We should invite him on stage and pretend that it's like a celebration for him and all his work he's done, and then I'll kill him.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
If Bilbo and the Sherpas are going to end, we've better go down in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No take backsies.
No, you're right.
Is there some sort of like twin swear that you have to do?
Immediately when you said twin swear,
Just like, fuck.
Yeah. We just go, fuck yes.
Twins.
Twins. Sherpa till I die. Sherpa till I
No one shafts the Sherpas.
We didn't know it and the world's been turning. No one shafts the Sherpas.
Rock reference.
Yeah.
actual rock reference.
Alright, lovies, it's me, Matt, your compere and voice of Gregg Nevin. While the other players are warming up for the next scene, why don't you and I take a look through the programme? So I realised pretty late in the day that this coming Thursday, 27th of October, marks 5 years since we released our first episode, Act 1 of Ariadne in the Blackshore Saga. Realised that way too late to actually do any kind of celebration or special episode like you might expect, but what would be lovely is if you'd wish us a happy 5-year anniversary on somewhere that you follow us. Whether that's at Merely Roleplay on Twitter, or at Merely Roleplayers on Instagram, or merelyroleplayers.tumblr.com, or in a comment on one of our videos on YouTube, perhaps. Wherever it is that you keep up with us, we would love to get a message of happy 5 years, congrats on 5 years, 5 more years, or if you really want to go the extra mile, tell us something that you've loved about the show over the past 5 years. That's right, it's a big milestone anniversary, 5 years since our first episode, and we're putting all of the emphasis on you telling us nice things rather than us making new content for you. How about that for defeating hustle culture? As well as that, other things upcoming. Alexander Pankhurst, who plays Mike Sherpa in this series, and who you'll also have enjoyed as Graham in Vigil, our ongoing main house series. Graham, the demon accountant. Alex is the compere, one of the 2 compares of a regular comedy night in London. The next dates are going to be the 2nd and the 23rd of November at 7:30 in the evening. That's the 2nd and the 23rd of November at 7:30 p.m. The night is called Top and Bottom Comedy, and you can find it at Top and Bottom Comedy on Instagram. There'll be links to buy tickets from that profile. So if you're in London and you find Alex funny, I know I certainly do in this series and many others, then get yourself a very, very reasonably priced ticket and come along to that. Alex will be comparing in between acts, and you'll get to see a good 9 or 10 great up-and-coming London comics doing their 5 minutes. Finally, if you've been enjoying the well-endowed cherub statue content of Monumental Exit, then I feel comfortable recommending to you another actual play podcast called Adventurers Anonymous. They play Dungeons and Dragons, they drink cocktails while they're doing it, it is light on plot and heavy on drunken silliness, and here is a trailer for it.
Hi there, my name's AJ and welcome to the Adventurers Anonymous podcast, the home of improvised fantasy fuck nuggetry. Join us week by week as a rotating cast of 6 dangerously codependent dipshits drink cocktails and attempt to chronicle their continuing adventures in a real play Dungeons and Dragons podcast. Along the way, they'll discover the true importance of friendship, family, and personal hygiene. It's always fun, often inappropriate, but never knowingly serious. We hope you enjoy.
And with that, please close your programs and take your seats once again in the studio. Act 2 of Monumental Exit will resume very shortly.
Alex, this is going to be a Mike-focused scene. Do you want to establish or resolve?
I'm gonna bail again and go resolve.
Cool.
I think we need something between Mike and Bilbo.
Yeah, we haven't really chatted much yet.
Yeah, that would be good. And I'm interested in this relationship as well, because we don't have anything established about it. Because Bilbo is the front man and Mike is a roadie.
Mm-hmm.
Does Bilbo respect Mike at all?
I think if a roadie has been with a band long enough, it's almost like family, because they all go on the road together. They do the gigs together. They might not travel in the same road buses or stay at the same hotels, but back in the old days when we were all, camping and staying at shitty little motels and stuff when we're touring, we probably would have got quite close. So maybe there was an incident that happened before you helped me or saved me or something.
If there is an incident in Bilbo and Mike's shared past, could this be Mike calling in a favour?
Okay, like it. So the scene is we are back at BB's in one of the private booths. Mm-hmm. I've been partying. There's a couple of unconscious guys and girls sort of scattered around, bottles of, whiskey scattered along the table. I'm currently rubbing something very chemical into my gums.
Bonjela?
Yes, Bonjela. I get awful ulcers. And you're stopped by security.
I'm here to see Bilbo.
Who are you again?
I'm Mike Sherpa. I'm the roadie.
Bilbo's resting.
What?
He needs to sleep.
Yeah, no, I really need to speak to him now.
Yeah, but he needs his beauty sleep.
I mean, he'll be asleep for a very long time if he's trying to get beautiful, darling.
Right. So, he needs to be left alone.
Okay.
We can take a message.
No, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. No. It's a private message between myself, Mike Sherpa, and, my sister Sue Sherpa. She's in the band.
Oh. Is this message illegitimate? Is this a below the counter sort of thing that you're organising?
Yes.
Does this mean we get to ask for a bribe?
I think it means we get a cut, yeah?
Yeah, I think it does.
Christ. Yes, you'll get a cut. The amount to be decided later. That's okay, yeah?
Sounds good to me.
Tell Bilbo that you have to cut us in.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll do. I'll definitely do that.
Don't forget Karen and Dave.
Karen and Dave. You guys, champion. Proper cushy. Lovely. Yeah. I'll just go through, yeah?
Go through then, sunshine. Go.
Thanks so much. Bilbo, how are ya?
Mike, good to see you, my friend.
Those ulcers still bothering you?
The Bonjela is doing a treat.
Good stuff.
Excuse me, frog in my throat.
I know.
Hell of a party.
I know how you feel.
You got through okay?
Yeah.
No problem?
Yeah.
Big Karen and sweaty Jim didn't give you any problem?
No, it's Dave.
He likes to pretend he's called Dave. I like calling him sweaty Jim.
Oh, right, okay. Right, well, I've got a bit of a problem.
Oh, please, come and sit down.
Yeah,
just push some of those guys onto the floor. Lightweights.
I know.
They can't party like they used to in the 40s.
I just toss one over my shoulder.
Lifting.
I know.
Take a seat. And he pours you overly generous cup of scotch and slides it along the table.
Bilbo, I do love your style. I neck it, slam it down.
Likewise.
I turn to Bilbo. I look him dead in his eyes. Well, I can't. He's wearing sunglasses.
Always.
Bilbo, we have a problem and we think you can help. You know Tito Luna?
He's a good man. Tito Luna, the manager at the Beanstalk.
So, he might not be as good as you think. I've found out some information. He has been profiting off of our name. Making it out that it was the Beanstalk that really started our careers and has been gaining an awful lot of profit from this. People come to see the Beanstalk. It's like that little place in Liverpool, the bunker, isn't it? The cave, that one, with the Beatles. Yeah. It's like that.
Good boys.
But they're all right. But the problem is, he's been getting money from it, but he's not been cutting us in.
Whoa, Mike, I'm on a hell of a come down right now.
I don't want to make it worse.
Making me paranoid.
I've got a plan though. Me and Sue have got a plan. We're gonna kill him.
Mike, even for me, that is accelerating at 125 miles an hour. You're just saying for a moment he might be stealing from me, from my band.
He's definitely stealing.
But do you want to kill him?
Yeah.
I get it. You want a gun. And he reaches down and pulls out like a full Uzi that has just been resting on his lap and lays it on the table and slides it over to you. It's yours. No, please.
Okay, thank you very much. So he takes.
You want another one? He pulls out a stubby shotgun and lays it down on the table and slides that towards you.
Jesus, you're packing.
Brass knuckles. He throws those out. Nunchucks. Throws those out on the table. Hand grenade, and it's like an old German World War II grenade. Slides it all along the table to you.
No. he's going to go out the way I want him to. I will keep all of this, by the way. But I've got another plan for him. The way that you can help is that you can get him onto the stage. We need him on stage, front and centre. Now, I know that's not what you want, what you like, but if you can get him up there, get him away from his security, and then I can strike.
Mike, listen to me. And
Mike, strike.
You shut your dirty little mouth.
What?
I am Bilbo Biltong. Bilbo and the Sherpas, it's my life's work.
One of the partiers momentarily wakes up and is like, Bilbo, baby, give us a song.
Where did I keep my brass knuckles? Where have they gone?
Bilbo clicks his fingers and Sweaty and Big Karen come in. Get rid of these. They are boring me.
Right, you are, Chief.
On it, boss.
And they are carried out and slung out of the club. I am serious fucking business. I have been around for decades. And this is to be my final hurrah. My final moment on the stage in front of an adoring crowd. I've put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of dollar.
Right.
I've brought on this wimpy mason guy.
Hey. There's nothing bad about him because he's a stone carver, but he is wimpy.
What's bad about him is that he showed me up in that rehearsal. He got too big.
He's learning.
He is. He's still got one final part of his training to do, but we'll come to that perhaps in Act 2.
Oh, right, okay.
I forgot my train of thought. I'm very, very old. What I'm saying is, you want me to share the stage with someone that's been robbing me.
Yeah.
The last time I will be on the stage, photographs will show me standing up with this piece of shit.
Yeah, but then I kill him.
You need to do something for me. You've got to use your sway within your weird twin family.
All right.
You know the penultimate song that we play? It's one of your favourites. Remind me, what's it called?
Agamemnon's Bliss.
Agamemnon's Bliss. You know the 3-minute theremin solo?
Yeah.
That I had graciously passed over to Sue to play.
Yeah.
This is my final gig.
Right.
I want that solo.
You want the 3-minute theremin
I
solo?
won't be able to convince her. She'll throw some witch spell on me if I try and convince her. And
She's known for that.
She'll upset everybody and she'll refuse to play.
That's a good point.
She plays 5 instruments. I need her in the band. If she walks...
You've lose the harp, and the harp's integral.
Exactly.
I've got a plan. What we do is we have you both with theremins. I just lower the fader on hers. She'll never know, because there'll still be a theremin playing. It's not like she's a talented musician who would be able to differentiate between 2 theremins. My plan, like all my others, is flawless. She'll never know, you'll get the solo.
If you allow me that solo, that last moment, you make sure all the lights are on me, all the focus is on me, then I get my grand finale.
Yeah.
At the end, we'll all come on stage. We'll all link arms, hands on backs. We'll all take a bow. And I will welcome Mr. Tito onto the stage.
Yeah.
And I will ask my security. I'll ask Big Karen and Sweaty Jim to hold back his guards.
Yeah.
And you can have your moment.
Amazing.
What could be more metal than a man being beheaded live on stage?
Nothing.
You got yourself a deal. And he offers you a tiny hand.
I shake it with a massive paw.
So it comes back to me to conclude Act 1. Big climactic Act 1 finale.
So, Matt, do you wish to establish or do you wish to resolve?
I think this time I will resolve, because I don't have a clear scene idea in my head and I would like all of you to drop me in it.
Okay. Alex.
Very well.
Nat, what do we think?
Maybe this is back at the workshop,
Mm-hmm.
which you're having to close down temporarily at least, because everything's being focused on this tour, this one last show, not a tour. And obviously the master is no longer there to run it and you're both busy. So you're there, you've got to shut everything down for now and you notice the sword is missing.
Yeah.
Like the sword has already been taken. We've established that's an easy thing for Mike to have done.
Yeah.
Could we get Tito himself involved?
Ooh.
Could Tito come and visit?
That's interesting. So, at the workshop, I think Gregg has been inside the workshop wrapping stuff up, like literally wrapping some of the carvings, putting like dust sheets over them, packing up the kitchen, reverently and sadly packing up the master's corner, the camp bed and the little camp stove, all the pot noodle debris. So that's all done, and Gregg sort of turns and takes one last look at the workshop space and steps back out to pull the shutters down and looks up and sees. Is the whole block of stone gone or just the sword?
Probably the block of stone and the sword.
Dragging it down the street.
You've become a Dark Souls villain.
Yeah.
So Gregg looks up and sees that the block of stone with the Zweihander through it is missing from above the workshop door. Looks down and sees like a gouge in the concrete where it's been dragged. Like absent-mindedly pulls the shutter down and starts to follow the trail. And with his eyes glued to the floor, his eyes light upon a pair of shoes.
Very well polished shoes with pointy tips. As his eyes go up, they take in the tall, handsome form of Tito Luna, who is a club owner, and so is dressed as such. He's dressed like he's straight out of Miami Vice. He's got like a pastel suit with the sleeves rolled up, slick back hair, wearing sunglasses.
And his PA, Meredith.
And Meredith is there as well.
Alligator skin tie.
Alligator skin tie, absolutely. Smells of Paco Rabanne. Bright white smile.
And actually, I think Gregg has slightly changed his appearance. Like, the band has been helping Gregg update his style, and so his hair and beard are like a little bit more intentionally hair rock now, rather than just being uncut and untidy. And he is wearing an old, very overwashed Bilbo and the Sherpa's t-shirt.
Knock, knock. Hello. Really sorry, I know you're probably closing up. Just wanted to quickly introduce. Are we speaking to Mr. Nevin, isn't it, Meredith?
Yes, it's Gregg Nevin.
Gregg Nevin, hi. Hello.
Yeah. Yes, that's me. Who might you be?
Tito Luna, as I said, this is my PA Meredith.
Hello.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for?
I believe that
Hello.
we are. Thank you, Meredith. Hello. What? I believe we are standing. I believe we are standing in the presence of the new lead singer of Bilbo and the Sherpas.
I can see it in his eyes.
Oh, I was under the impression that wasn't public knowledge yet. There's a big handover planned.
There is indeed. So, as I said, I'm Tito Luna. I am the manager at the Beanstalk Club. You might have heard of us.
Oh, that's how you know. I see.
You're playing your first gig at my little club, you see.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I haven't met you before.
No, stop it, you silly sausage. And absolutely, I won't have any of that. It's us that was rude in not coming down earlier, isn't that right, Meredith?
Sir.
We just wanted to come down and, introduce ourselves. Because as I'm sure you know, the very first gig, or the gig that set Bilbo and the Sherpas up, was at my club.
I've read that on their Wikipedia.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to, introduce myself, to say hello, and moving forward as the front man of the band, hopefully we can, continue to be really, really good friends. And he patronisingly gives you a little punch on the shoulder.
Oh well, I mean, any friend of Master Bilbo's is a friend of mine.
Absolutely. And Meredith, sorry, Meredith, did you bring the gifts?
Oh, yes, I did.
No, you really shouldn't have.
Oh, stop it. Go on.
Meredith is in like an impeccable white suit, like sharp shoulder, like 80s style, sharp shoulders, like perfectly coiffed blonde hair. And again, like a matching perfect smile and sunglasses. And she's got this tiny little handbag out of which she somehow manages to pull like a box that looks like it's far too big to fit in there. And it's, again, impeccably wrapped, like glossy silver paper. No, silver's too trashy. Like glossy black paper. And passes it over.
Thank you, Meredith.
Oh, well, this is so generous. Am I supposed to open it here?
Just a token of our affection. Don't feel you need to open it in front of us. It's not Christmas Day, is it?
All right. Well, thank you.
Not at all. We are very, very excited to having you grace our little stage.
If this is the what I can expect from my life going forward, the sort of it's. I'm so happy that you're happy Because I do worry about replacing... It's big shoes to fill, you know.
Bilbo has been at the top of his game for many, many decades, but I'm sure you'll match him.
And actually, his shoe size is only 8.5, so...
Yes, absolutely. He does buy his shoes from Mothercare, I believe.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely, specially made. Well, anyway, we won't take up too much of your time. We just wanted to stop by and say hello.
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 And they just both smile at you without moving.
As Tito and Meredith just sort of stare beatifically, slightly glassily at Gregg, he sort of tries to meet their stares, can't, and then just sort of sheepishly, like while still trying to look them in the eye, just starts unwrapping the gift to see what's in it. Unwraps the black paper, struggles with it a little bit, can't quite get the ribbon off.
Oh, let me help you with that. Puts her hand on his hand and just helps him open it.
Thank you, Meredith.
You're welcome.
The paper comes off, the ribbon comes off, and Gregg gazes upon what is inside.
This has been Monumental Exit, a studio production from Merely Roleplayers, starring Matt Boothman as Gregg Nevin, Natalie Winter as Sue Sherpa, Alexander Pankhurst as Mike Sherpa, and Josh Yard as Bilbo Biltong. The theme music is by Alexander Pankhurst, and the episode was edited and produced by Matt Boothman. We were playing Fiasco, a role-playing game by Jason Morningstar published by Bully Pulpit Games. Head to bullypulpitgames.com to find Fiasco and many, many Fiasco playsets, including After the Music Stopped, the one we were playing. Merely Roleplayers is a Foggy Outline production in association with Blackshaw Theatre Company. Until next time, if drama be the food of life, play on!
This season of Merely Roleplayers brought to you by the Freemasons!
Not a cult.